So let me briefly talk about myself first, because that's closely related to my current project. So I'm Yusuke Sakurai, Ochanomizu University. I'm undertaking this study with this great support from Shannon Mason, Nagasaki University, and Murdoch University. I'm closely working with the with Shannon with this project from the beginning of the study, and then now I'm also working with the getting a lot of help from Shannon. And my major field is students learning in international settings. For example, international students studying in Japan and students studying in international settings, like in different countries, or courses where lots of different students from different countries are studying at the same time. So the beginning of this study, this project, is also related to my background studying and working in foreign countries. And in my previous workplace, I was in the Center for International Exchange, where I was supporting international students. And we also had some courses for Japanese students who are interested in studying in international setting and in foreign countries. But when I was engaging in this work experiences, I kind of thought like maybe we are putting a lot of effort in supporting international students, but maybe we don't have good effort like in supporting international faculty members, like foreign early career researchers and postdoc as well. We are Japanese universities are welcoming international foreign faculties from different countries, but maybe we don't have, we haven't done good job to support them to fulfill their life goals, or maybe the achievements as researchers. So that's the kind of beginning initial idea that I had when I started and I planned this project. So like I said before, I was interested in teaching and learning in international settings. And I also had experiences as an international student and teaching stuff overseas. So I was in Malaysia, Egypt, and Finland. And I was also in Thailand as a Japanese language teacher before. And I got a lot of help and support. They are very valuable, but maybe the foreign scholars, international early career researchers, maybe have a good support from the colleagues in their workplace in Japan, but maybe not. So you can, maybe many of you are familiar with this kind of information, like the number of international researchers are increasing. But in the one study done by Rutherford Hammond and Kim, today's chair, reported that there are many foreign early career researchers who are not really happy with their work experiences, and they are kind of treated as numbers. Like foreign scholar, the number, the universities are paying attention to like number, the increase of the number. We should increase the number of international scholars. So it seems to me that there's a lack of sound, healthy relationships with, well, it's not the binary, but it doesn't really matter the nationality, but at first they have sound and healthy relationship. But it seems to me there's a huge gap between international foreign early career researchers and domestic researchers. So that's and when you look at the literature in that field, like international scholars, foreign early career researchers, at least in Japan, there are some studies done by foreign early career researchers. There are not many studies done by Japanese researchers about international scholars. So EMIC study, like, the studies conducted by, insiders, like, foreign area career researchers studying about foreign career researchers. That's the, insider perspective. But at the same time, that they are also, of course, important. They are valuable and insightful. But at the same time, the ethic perspective, like in studying international foreign early career researchers by, like myself, like, local researchers. So there's a kind of unbalance. So I was thinking, like, maybe I can contribute to that field to develop the sound and healthy relationship with the people working in the Japanese academia. So this is a general background about the increase of foreign academics. So thanks very much, Hiroshima University. We got this figure on the website database, and I also added an update from the eStat website, and you can easily see the clear increase of foreign academics. This figure does not include part-time staff, and also it doesn't include the research institutes. So if you include the part-time staff and the research institutes, you will see more numbers, and it doesn't also include 2-year colleges. So there are the number of foreign researchers are increasing, and then that should be taken care of by someone. I mean, that's why that I'm doing this study. So let me talk about the overall project now. So when I looked at the literature, it seems to me that there are some studies from the perspective of sociology. So this kind of things is happening in society, and the cohort of international scholars are like this and that. That's also insightful. Then I got a lot of insight from those studies. But at the same time, I'm very curious about the more or less educational point of view, learning and development. So how do they have, healthy learning experiences? I mean, like, good learning experiences as early career researchers. That's very important as a Japanese academia, because many early career researchers are kind of encouraged to mobile, working in Japan, and after that, maybe they will work at the different places. So if this, society, like Japanese academia, is not, evaluated positively, and that's going to be like, negative, that will have a negative impact from the perspective of international presence. And also, the study done by Yonezawa and Ishida reported that about 60% of lecturers and assistant professors were positive about their posts. To be honest, this result was quite surprising to me in the beginning, because I kind of had, maybe, early career researchers, foreign early career researchers are having, difficult time. But this study reported that in general, of course, there should be individual differences. 60% majority, many people are happy with their workplaces. But there's also study, as I said before, foreign early career researchers' experiences. They are treated like numbers, and they are not happy with that. And they feel the foreign early career researchers are marginalized, and they could not contribute to the main decision makings of the universities. So this is I will introduce some qualitative comments when I was doing the my project survey. This is just excerpts from my survey study, open-ended responses. So one said, well, this is in Japanese, いくら頑張ってもなんとなく外人扱いされている感じがします。And the second one is also in Japanese.日本の研究機関は長年日本優位の固定概念を持っていて、欧米でなければ日本より劣ると思い込んでいる。So this should be changed. And the third one, I hope to have more chances regarding to positions, competitive research funds, and career promotions for the foreign researchers. I think the diversity will contribute to the development. And the communication between foreigners and Japanese researchers in the lab, in the same lab, is not very active. One reason may be language, and another may be Japanese are a little shy. I like that one. A little shy to share their research. So these are, just general, just some excerpts from my study. So now I will more talk about the. So like I said before, I'm curious about learning and development rather than the general more in educational. I'm interested in educational point of view. Probably that will contribute to better scholarly communities where researchers with different backgrounds can be successful from their own point of view. And sound scholarly communities for lifelong career development. And then, like I said before, maybe they will stay, but maybe they will move to different places. But at least this is a very important time. Early career researchers, after the PhD, they should have good environments where they can develop their expertise as well as their work management skills. So I did survey already. I'm going to do the interview after, sorting out some initial data of the survey. And I will share some initial insights from the survey today. I will not talk about interviews at all. So early career researchers, I sent online surveys to the researchers who completed their PhD less than 8 years ago, or 39 years old or younger with that PhD, which is in line with the JSPS definition of wakate kenkyusha. And I got over 300 survey responses. And good thing is many people are interested in having an interview with me. Great, thanks very much. So, today I will talk about how they evaluate their workplaces, so work environment here, and maybe the pattern of their responses, pattern of their conditions will tell us who they are, what kind of people they are. So I will not talk about the this development and career sphere. I will mainly talking about their perceptions about what their workplace is. This one is the major part of this project, but I will not talk about it. So today's findings kind of laying out the pathway to the main study. Okay. So I did survey response. I got survey responses, and it was about foreign early career researchers' experiences. And I used some inventories created by other researchers. So I used questionnaire survey items of work environment survey and sense of belonging, And I also used the inventory, the questionnaire item invented by the LO work stress inventory, the survey item. And as I said before, it seems to me that generally, 60%, so many people are generally happy with their workplaces. Of course, there are individual differences, but other study conducted by Brotherhood, I forgot the surname, Chris, second person, and Kim, reported that many early foreign area researchers feel marginalized. So it's not really, I forgot the term. They are not, very explanatory each other. They are not, their results are not really fitted to each other. So based on the survey, I tried to find kind of subcategories. So I thought that there are some cluster of researchers who are happy with their work experiences. But at the same time, there are some other foreign area researchers who are not really happy with their workplaces. So based on the survey responses, I tried to find different clusters and using the survey participants' responses. And then I found 3 unique different clusters. So that's the main finding for this study today. So that's the figure here. So based on survey responses, I found 3 different clusters. So first one is, this is the largest cluster group. So satisfied but stressful. So they are generally evaluating their workplaces positively. So their score is high. And they're also stressful. Their stress level is also high. That's the highest. Well, maybe I should say positive. It's not really high, but at least positive. And their sense of belonging is also positive. So I named this cluster like satisfied but stressful. The second one is the middle nowhere. I named it based on their response patterns. So they evaluate their workplace very negatively, poorly, and their stress level is around the average, and the sense of belonging is the lowest level. So they are not really having strong sense of belonging in Japanese academia or workplaces, and their stress level is in the middle, and they evaluate their workplaces positively, poorly. The third cluster is happy faculty, because their stress level is lowest. They evaluate their workplace positively, and their feeling of sense of belonging is very high. So they feel strong connection with their workplace environment. And as I said before, I wanted to know who they are, what kind of people they are. So I will share some initial insight findings from now. So there were no clear patterns concerning their gender. So male, female, I couldn't really find the differences. And institutional types, national or private public university, I couldn't find the particular trends among these different types of universities. And I was also curious about where they got the PhD. So they got PhD maybe in Japan and maybe in different countries. And I wanted to know this kind of differences maybe contribute to how they experience their workplaces in Japan. But I couldn't find those differences. What I found was some tendencies, trends concerning academic ranks, age, and contract and Japanese language competence. I will not talk about everything because of time limitation. I will share some of them about ranks and language from them. So this is cross tabulation of the rank, academic rank, like professor, associate professor, lecturer, and work experience cluster. So like stressful but successful cluster here, middle of nowhere here cluster here. The happy faculty members are here. And the major trend, what I thought was like this. So if they are assistant professor to the lowest rank of the hierarchy, they are more or less likely to be in the middle of nowhere cluster. So comparing to different rank faculty members. So maybe you want to see, you want to have some time, but it's because of time. Maybe I can't really show you this slide longer. But so if they are having higher rank, they are more likely to be in a satisfied and stressful cluster. So the or lecturer, so they are triple as 3 times more. They are 3 times as middle of nowhere cluster. They are more satisfied and stressful faculty members. But of course, if you look at the more data in detail, maybe you want to say more. But I will look into more data more closely later. But this is general trend. Maybe I will look into more carefully later. And about the language skill. Major trend that I found was if they are high language competence, they fall in the cluster of satisfied but stressful cluster. But if you have lower level of language competence, the balance of distribution of foreign area researchers in these 2 different clusters are very close, but they have high level of language skills. And then they feel satisfied, but they are working in a stressful conditions. So so this is a kind of initial study. I will look into the data more closely soon, hopefully in the February and March. But there are some other things that I have to consider. But firstly, stress level is not always linear. Not the lower the better. Maybe middle level is better for the work productivity. But I didn't consider that yet. So from the data, the senior high-ranked professors are satisfied, but they are stressful. Maybe those who are satisfied are stay, so they are climbing up the ladder of academia already. But so that's why I thought those who are disappointed have already left. But when I shared this finding with Shannon, the second co-author, she also gave me an insight. Maybe in the Japanese setting, they are having their partner in Japan. Maybe they are staying in Japan because of the family reasons. But the survey results don't really give you the insight about that yet. Maybe I will look into that later. So, I think I will skip because of time here. So based on the current findings, so in the beginning, the lower rank of RA carrier researchers are kind of middle of nowhere cluster, and if they do not have good language competence of Japanese, and they fall in the category of middle of nowhere, low sense of belonging. But I don't know very much about the systematic mentoring system in Japanese academia for the lower level foreign area carrier researchers. So that's the other thing that I have to look into more closely, how we can support. Is there any systematic support system of foreign area carrier researchers, or maybe just that kind of thing does not exist anyway. So I think that's all from my side because of time. So I think I will maybe I should shut my mouth up.